Jack, and they're getting paid by the NHS. It's incredible. They lock me up for something terrible.
Or they know a hell of a lot, but the hell of a lot they know is only the brainwashed propaganda bullshit, or rather we should call what their conventional medical scientific training has indoctrinated them to believe, because they've had to basically learn, all the learning is to answer questions in the way the person who sets the exams wants them answered, which is basically the learning to be submissive and do what they're told by the authority figure. And that's what education is, especially when you get into stuff that involves drug companies making a fortune, which is what the medical industry of the so-called conventional sense is. It's fucking nonsense.
It's loony. I had one guy come to me in rapid eye technique, this idea, and he gave me 2 pods to hold in my hand, one either side. So this machine costs X number of £100, and he said, I've got this course and that course for it, and what have you. And I looked at it and I said, what is it? It's 2 vibration motors and a timer. That was it. And he spent like 600 quid on this thing. This little box with 2 wires coming out and a couple of pods. And he tried to convince me that this was 600 quid worth of work, and he spent 1,000 quid on it. And he'd done this for his job, and he works in NHS, and he's still there doing this crap.
But if they believe it enough,
stupid.
Yeah, but if he believes it enough, in fairness, the flip side of that is it ties in with everything I've been teaching, and I agree with it. Yeah, he will. If he believes it enough, he will transmit that to the people he's doing it on.
Yeah.
And they will buy into it.
I tried doing it on me and made the right mess of it with my bloody mind. Right screwed me up. Something terrible. But I know that's another story.
But also, aside from that fuck up, you also have certain knowledge that the average man on the street doesn't.
Now I do, yeah. Yeah. Thank you to you. But,
right, it's 5 past up. So, if we can all mute, please, except for... Well, no, you can mute for a minute, but I'll be coming to you in about 15 minutes, Stu.
Okay, not a problem.
So be on standby, and then I'll spotlight you and I'll sit down briefly. So, we've covered CMT, we've covered cured. The fact is, I'll reiterate again, although I've given you a CMT structure, the main relevance of that is thousands of products potentially you can make out of that. Yeah? Okay? And the cured thing is that you can make bullshit up. And that's all it is, it's bullshit. Especially if you bookend it with the 0 to 10 process we went through yesterday. Please do not. Right, don't get me wrong. If you genuinely, truly, sincerely, yourself, believe in a construct like the unconscious mind, then so be it. I'm not saying leave those beliefs behind. If you believe that, fine. You can carry on being that. If you feel comfortable with that belief, fine. But don't fucking try and tell me. And now I'm sorry, I know you're going to say, well, don't try and tell me that the subconscious mind, unconscious mind doesn't exist. I fucking will, because I can prove it. You can't possibly prove that it does. Neither can conventional science. But it doesn't matter. If you want to believe something that's bullshit, a construct just to make money for the drug industry ultimately, indirectly, fine, so be it, because ironically it's still going to help you in a way. To a certain degree it'll help you be a better therapist, but I would argue that when you actually wake up to the fact that it's all bullshit and there's fuck all in this other than placebo effect trigger and an important seeming ritualistic process, which may as well be me getting a stick of celery or rather a wet fish and slapping it around your fucking face 3 times, having done 0 to 10 in advance and then doing it afterwards. I guarantee you that would work just as well as any of the other shit we've covered, just as well as anything you think's got some genuine basis. It fucking hasn't. And if you get a chance, go to the medical museum in Bradford, and he takes you through the history of medicine, psychological and physical medicine. And there's a very telling section where there's a sign, and I can't believe somebody's either got an incredibly good sense of humour, because I can't imagine the powers that be that give funding were too happy about this plaque, but there's a plaque in there that openly admits, look at the history of conventional medicine, and you are looking at the history of the placebo effect. And that is still the case today. Antidepressants is a cracking random example. Just go and read the book, The Emperor's New Drugs by Irving Kirsch, who's done a meta-analysis of all the studies on drugs, so on antidepressants. And the studies on antidepressants, generally speaking, were a bit like, well, there might be a bit of evidence there for them being slightly better than just a placebo. But then, Irving's come and done a meta-analysis of the bloody lot, and gone and investigated and found the studies that were done that they chose not to publish because they were funded by drug companies, and the results were such that it would have stopped their drugs coming from market, and he discovered the loopholes that are used to fudge things to make them look different. And ultimately, the end result is antidepressants are no better, in fact they're worse than a placebo. You'd be better off taking nothing. Well, I'm not going to argue the point anymore because it's irrelevant, but I tell you this, I'm genuinely telling you, when you know it's bullshit, you'll be better at it. Because you know what? When you really accept the fact, I know you've got cognitive dissonance, some of you, and you still want to believe that the thousands you've spent and the time you've believed in it, what you hold on to it truly, but it's fucking cognitive dissonance. It's shit. When you understand it is, you will become an even better. You'll go to the next level as a therapist, both in results, long-term lasting effect, and naturally, just naturally, in terms of the success you have in getting clients and the levels of money you make, because you just kind of won't give a shit anymore. You can never fail when you know what you're doing. It's bullshit and entirely down to the client. It's if you've not learned that this weekend, then you weren't paying attention. Or if you've learned it but you don't believe it, then you were paying attention, but you've got cognitive dissonance and you better do something about it. So, you don't need any more techniques, you know what to do. Watch these things back, do them. The scripts are there for CMT, the scripts are there for cured. We already covered tapping techniques, we covered EMDR, eye movement techniques, we covered havening techniques, we covered bloody writing things on paper, flash paper techniques, we covered changing the shape and submodalities of things techniques, silly voices inside the heads technique. We've covered a hell of a lot more stuff than you may have actually realised as we've gone along. Shitloads, more than you ever need. We covered the eyes following thumb convincer for the start, the use of the Hellman phraseology. Prove to yourself you've done it right, which can be used for anything. I did say I'd teach you at least one hypnotic induction process. Well, I'll teach you two. Number one is close your eyes and sleep. Keep just so long as you keep your eyes tightly closed at all times, unless I say otherwise, then this will be 100% successful for you, just so long as you keep using your powers of intelligence, imagination and concentration. Basically, tell the fuckers to close their eyes, say the word sleep, which they expect, then use that phraseology that means that if they open their eyes, it's their fault, and they're the fucking idiot, and they're to blame, and they're in what NLP calls a double bind. They either open their eyes and look a fucking idiot and feel a fucking idiot, or they go, authority figures told me to do this, I believe it, and maybe I will feel hypnotised in a minute. Which they will when you do your other bollocks, like the staircase deepener that ends up boring them to sleep. I know it sounds like I'm being flippant. If you haven't by now also realised that on the one hand I'm being flippant. If you want to believe I'm being tongue-in-cheek, fine, but I'm fucking not. I'm being deadly serious. Some of you might need to realise how deadly serious I'm being. It's not tongue-in-cheek when I'm telling you it's bullshit, it's just a placebo, it's just an important seeming ritualistic process. There's no fucking thing other than a construct, other than in the minds of someone who believes it exists, there's no such thing as left side controls right, right controls left. You can't, it's bollocks. There's no such thing as unconscious. It's a construct. It's an important seeming ritualistic process. I may as well say to a client, where's your issue on 0 to 10? Right, close your eyes. I'm talking to the little known Mickey Mouse part of your brain. Now, you may never have heard of that. And that's because most conventional psychologists and psychiatrists don't know about it, but I'm a specialist in hypnosis. And I dubbed it the Mickey Mouse part of the brain because it's the one that acts really funny and stupid sometimes, like in the cartoons, and does nonsensical things, and that's why you've got the issue you've got. So I'm talking directly to the Mickey Mouse part of your brain. Could you please erase, delete, distort? And I could use the exact wording script we went through, and I tell you what would happen. It'd work. As long as I delivered it with the courage of my convictions that I believed it would work, so it sounded like I'm the confident authority figure, and because I've got the bits of paper on the wall, it would work. It's about having confidence. That's why you need to become a better con man or con woman to be really good at this. It's the con bit. Confidence. That's why originally con men, con women were called confident tricksters, because that's what you're fucking doing. But we're doing it in an ethical manner because fair exchange is no robbery, and these people want, deep down, somebody they can use as an excuse, a focal point, to offload all that self-blame, shame, guilt and regret. It's really as simple as that. I said I'd teach you at least one suggestibility test and at least one more induction. So I will, but there are tons of them in the Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp. I mean tons of them. More than you'd ever need for stage, therapy, for everything. The simple fact is, and I'll say it for the last time, there is nothing anyone on this planet can teach you about hypnosis, hypnotherapy, NLP, body language, persuasion, mind control of any kind, or psychological talking therapies of any kind, that is not taught in the bootcamp, at least as good as it's taught elsewhere, but generally 100 times better, more to the point. That's assuming that you can bore with the fucking swearing and graphic stories and the actual real truth, which fucking hurts sometimes. But the fact is, you won't get bullshit off me. I've spent more money on training than probably anyone on the planet ever has. Go on Facebook, look at my photo albums. I've got certificates from every fucker on the planet. I could wallpaper a flipping 6-bedroom detached house from ceiling to floor with the bits of fucking toilet paper I've got from respected names in hypnosis. I've met all the biggest names in the world, and I mean met them in the sense of not gone on their courses and paid money. I've never paid to go on a famous person's course in my fucking life. Why would I? Because I'm better than they are, and they know it. That's why they try and slag me off, some of them. The others will be nice with me because they will accept me as an equal. The others slag me off because they know I'm better than them. That sounds egotistical. It's a fact. The evidence is there. The point of it, and what I'm saying is, and the irony of it is, that generally they come to me for advice to how to get the bloody people in the room. The evidence there. Go and look. My point I'm getting at is, and there is a point to this, that you, to be truly successful, yes, marketing comes into it, which we're going to cover in a minute, to bring things to a logical close for now. Stop fucking yourself over. There is only one course on the planet that if you've got a single sane cell in your head that you will ever invest in again, and that's the Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp. To do with hypnosis. After that, the only things you would ever logically, with any level of sanity, invest in is marketing, advertising, publicity and promotion. And becoming a master of those things, which to a large degree you will in the boot camp. But the only thing that I personally ever spend money on now is continuing my education in marketing, advertising, publicity and promotion. If you get that right, they're cured before they come in your room anyway, and if you do that right, that's how you make the money. And then creating more products. Because this is creating a product anyway. Thanks, you paid me. I've earned, off everyone that's paid, The majority were at the full price. Obviously bootcamp members got it at our price. But for everyone who's booked, they're not necessarily all online, but there's like best part of 80 people. I made a couple of grand up front, and there's a few more grand coming already from bootcamp sales, and there'll be some more before midnight on Wednesday if you've got any sense and you grab the offer that will never be repeated. So thanks. You've actually paid me, by the time Wednesday comes, probably not far off 10 grand by the time the ones who aren't in the bootcamp pay up. To make a product that I won't release until after I've done the June event. I'll do the June one, then I'll never do this again, but I'll put the two sets of videos together and it'll go on sale for probably about $297. And I'll make money from that for the rest of my life. So that sounds like I'm bragging. I'm giving you an example. So by doing this, my motivation for doing this, yes, I want you to be successful, because you being successful is going to lead to more sales to me. Yes, I want you to buy the bootcamp, can I make more money, but you're getting a ridiculous offer, $197. If you can't earn that back in a single session, then you're not fucking following what's in the bootcamp. And I guarantee you'll never buy anything off anyone else again, because if you do, you're a fuckwit. And if you do, you'll find that you've just wasted your money on that other thing, and it's already in the bootcamp. Your wiser thing is join the bootcamp, email me and go, I was thinking about going on the Rapid Transformation Therapy course with Marissa Peer. And I reply and go, don't be a fuckwit. Go and look at this video set inside the course. It might not be called Rapid Transformation Therapy because she came up with a different title and brand, but the actual fucking process is practically identical to that. And at the end of the day, the only reason it works anyway is because of what I've taught you the past 4 days. And if you haven't realised that yet, go and get a job fucking stacking shelves in Astor's. Seriously, and I do mean that seriously. But if you want to be truly successful, and you've all got the potential to do it, because you can breathe, as long as you can read. Oh yeah, the exam, by the way. This is the exam for CMT and cured. And to be legally and morally and ethically be able to do what I said regards the diploma, you need to engage in the exam. So if you're on this live, you need to respond now, in a moment, via typing in the text box. If you're watching the replay that will be in the group tomorrow, then you need to, before midnight on Wednesday, when the bootcamp offer ends, 3rd of June, you need to have answered these few questions via, it's a simple yes-no question exam. Here we go. Question number 1. Have you already, or if you haven't, will you guarantee that you will download the stuff before midnight on Wednesday that I've given you links to in the group, namely the CMT and cured scripts, videos, audio package? The answer is yes. Type it in the chat box now, or if you're watching the replay, type it below this video in the group so it's there, timed and dated as proof, because this saves the chat and the Zoom recording. And that yes will confirm that you have either downloaded already or will download the package. Yes, 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 it's coming. Excellent. Question number 2. Will you, before you attempt to use Complete Mind Therapy and or Cured, as the case may be, and before you display your certificate and start using it, ensure that you listen to the 53-minute long audio MP3 whilst reading the script so that you learn the speed and pace to deliver it, the voice tones and all the other things that I talked about, so that you do it correctly when you are with a client. The answer is yes, but yes! And that will mean that you pass stage 2 of the exam. The yeses are popping in. Excellent. And finally, will you confirm and agree that you will only ever use any of those techniques where you are also fully paying attention to people's health and safety in all manners, in the ways that I've referred to in terms of common sense, making sure they won't fall off chairs and all that other stuff, and making sure that if in doubt, send them to the doctor first type thing. In other words, be safe, legal and ethical in what you do. Do you agree? The answer is yes. You type it, yes, all the yeses coming in which case, for those of you that have answered yes, yes and yes, congratulations, you've just passed the exam. And that means you're legally, ethically and morally entitled to, when you've done those things, just stated to be able to do the signing of your diploma and whatnot and use it. Simple as that. Now, when it comes to advertising, which we're going to move on to in a second, I just want to make one very quick point here. Weight loss. It's a funny thing. Smoking addiction's fun. Weight loss is a bit different. All the other things, you can kind of do the session, and like with a TV show, you could go, you used to be scared of snakes, now as a snake, hold it, they hold it, it looks wonderful. Weight loss, you do your 10 or 15 minute important seeming ritualistic process, and you can perhaps bring out a slice of cake they said they love, stick it in their face, and then go, yeah, I don't want that. That doesn't really prove its worth, does it? Because they're still a fat fucker. And, you know, they say inside every fat person is a thin person trying to get out. Well, they shouldn't have fucking had them then, should they? My point is, you don't get an instant result with weight loss. The truth of the matter is this. That's the anomaly, can't say the word. That's the odd one out of everything you could deal with. Everything else, they can leave the baggage behind there and then and get on with it. Well, with weight loss, they can leave the baggage behind, use the excuse, but the weight doesn't suddenly disappear. Because there's only really two ways, unless they've got a medical issue. That's different, but doctor would be involved then. Generally speaking, though, the only way to lose weight is eat less calories than you're currently doing, or do more exercise than you're currently doing so you burn off more calories, or ideally both. That is the only way, short of taking laxatives and dangerous stuff, the only safe, legal and ethical, sustainable way to lose weight and keep it off. Fact, simple as that. Now yes, heavily emotional eaters and people who've suffered traumas can use it for comfort eating. Yes, of course, leaving baggage behind psychologically means immediately they feel better and they will naturally resist the cakes. Yes, for the reasons we've spoken about. Yes, it's going to take some time for them to see the results. Okay? That will have an element of it. But you still need to make sure that they eat less than they were doing, or better, not better, less than, and burn it off. And the best book to read regarding if you're going to work in the weight niche is Diets Don't Work by Diets Don't Work. Squat. Fuck's sake. Do you know what? This is why I should have things written down. Internet. My gut instinct is saying to me the guy's called Bob Squartz. I can tell you it was published in 1981. Google's just loading. I'm going to put in Diets Don't Work, and I'm pretty certain that it's probably going to come up and say it's Bob Squartz, and it is. It genuinely, it really, I don't know. It's going to be Diets Don't Work, Bob Squartz. You'll find it on Amazon as Kindle and a book. But it was first published in 1981. And if you buy a copy of that and a copy of Paul McKenna's I Can Make You Thin, which is one of the most successful weight loss books in the world, not because of the hypnosis bit ironically, just because of this bit, I'm going to tell you in a minute. Now this bit didn't come from Paul McKenna's book. This is notes taken from Bob Squartz's book, Diets Don't Work, from 1981. Ooh. Now if you get Paul McKenna's I Can Make You Thin and compare it to Bob Squartz's book from 1981, the bits that actually work about Paul's system, well, obviously placebo, important seeming ritual of hypnosis, we know can work for reasons we've said. But the bits that truly work weight loss wise are the following. The golden rules. That when you are hungry, eat. Don't deprive yourself. Don't cut things out that you like. When you're hungry, eat. But, number 2, eat what you want, not what you think you should. So you're not depriving yourself. So it's a pleasure to do this. But, number 3, eat consciously. Enjoy every mouthful. Chew it at least 10 or 15 times before you swallow it. And whilst you're doing it, put your knife and fork down on your plate. Chew it. Don't have the television off because that will distract you and you'll eat unconsciously. Eat consciously, put your knife and fork down, chew it 15 times, then pick up the knife and fork, get a bit more, put it down, do the same thing 4, when you think you are full stop, when you get that feeling of satiety, that feeling, oh, I feel satisfied, but I could maybe force myself to have a bit more. Don't be bloated. It's not. Stop when you feel satisfied. It's about retraining the body. And if you should feel hungry later in the day, then eat. But when you feel hungry, before you go flipping getting some food, have a glass of water. Because quite often, thirst gets confused with hunger. Have a glass of water. If you're still hungry 5 minutes later, then have something to eat and follow the guidelines just said. But more often than not, you'll find you suddenly don't need something to eat. And that will help them shed weight massively more rapidly than depriving certain foods. And it's been proven with the success of McKenna's system. It's that part. But that part is from Bob Schwartz's book from 1981. Diets Don't Work. And it's practically, if you look, there's no credit to Bob in I Can Make You Thin. And yet it's word for word, practically word for word, the system to follow from Bob Schwartz's book. So if you really want to save money, just trust me, what I'm telling you is true, it is. Because if it wasn't, I'd be committing defamation of character now. And I'm not that daft. So just buy a second-hand copy of Bob Schwartz's book, Diets Don't Work, save yourself the money. Buy the source material that's actually really worth looking at. Yeah, that's it therapeutic-wise. Let's get on to marketing. I am going to talk to you shortly. I'll talk to you about this one thing now, leaflets. Now, leaflets at the minute, I know what you're going to say, they're a bit irrelevant at the minute because of the COVID crisis, but shops in England are starting to reopen in a couple of weeks, and Spain is starting to reopen. Places are starting to reopen, so in a few months' time, there will be a level of normalcy. It's not going to be like it was, but there'll be a level of it. So leaflets will come into their own again, as long as they've got a trust element to them, which I'll come to in a minute. Then I'm going to invite a guest on and spotlight them briefly to talk about the internet. And then I'm going to finish up with some quick and dirty marketing techniques for getting clients and for selling products. Because in terms of making products, if you want more information on that, the easiest ways, the lazy man's ways of getting your first book out on sale without it costing you a penny up front and without it taking you years, so that within a few weeks you could have a proper professional book on sale worldwide in bookstores and available on Amazon and the internet without you having to spend any money up front, where you get paid money into your bank automatically once they sell, and they'll even help advertise them for you. Then the Millionaire Plan and Passive Hypnosis Profits are things you need and the cheapest ways to join the bootcamp. But I'm going to tell you some free ways of getting clients or selling products after we've had our guest on. But first, leaflets. Well, no, actually, yeah, first leaflets. Okay, right, now, let's start that side. That's the internet. That should be just about readable. I've got the light there, that's the problem. We'll just get a bit of a look at that before I go to the reading of it. You don't need to be able to read it all, you just need to visually see, fuck me, there's a fat hippo underneath, fed up being fat. There's the skull and crossbones there, and a green tick, and smoke choke, death, disease. The other side, there's scaredy cat and a cat cartoon. Fed up with pain, ouch, and this here. I don't expect you to read that on there. To read it and see it yourself, you can go to hypnotic-consultants.co.uk. I'm sure Stuart will put that web link into the chat in a minute, which you can copy and paste. And when you go to that website, the link's also in the group. There's a button you can click for leaflets for hypnotherapists. And on there you will see both sides of this leaflet image. Okay? Now, this is available under license from Stuart. I don't make a penny out of it. But I'm telling you, because I'm kind of attached to this a little bit, because I wrote it and I designed it. And by designed it, I mean I drew on a napkin. I won't mind a fat hippo there. I did not graphically design the hippo. I do not have those skills. I could learn them, but why fucking bother when I've got an exceptional award-winning Photoshop artist who happens to be my friend, my business colleague, and the godfather to my daughter. Why the fuck waste parts of my life doing something that I can just get him to do and return the favour by using my skills for something for him later, you know? So, but ultimately the essence was there. So it's about the wording. You've got the skull and crossbones that's like a stop smoking sign, but it's a cigarette through the middle of a skull. Visually, that's ramping up the pain that we spoke about already. I hope this makes sense based on what I've already taught you. That's why I left it till this point. And the words are smoke, choke, death, disease. Do you want to die before your loved ones? And yes, they're in red writing with white around. So the red's there because red's an angry colour. We want to ramp up the pain. Fed up being a drug addict? Want more money to help make your wildest dreams come true? Then call now to stop smoking with ease. And ease is in green letters going downwards. And then at the side of it, because it stands for the EASE, eliminate the addiction to smoking with ease. And then there's a nice green tick, which is a conditioned response in England and many countries of the world. You used to get a green tick when you got something right and a red tick when you got something wrong at school. But also it ties in with the green there, and green's a nice calm healing colour. Start living today. And then the contact number. Ramp up the pain, give them the immediate solution. Call to action. It's called direct response marketing. And when they see it, you want a direct response. Not I'll think about calling them and then the leaflet gets lost. And the only way you get a direct response is when you elicit emotion in somebody. Hence, fed up being fat, picture of the hippo on the scales looking unhappy. That's probably how they think. If they feel they want to lose weight, they probably think they look like a hippo. Push the fucking needle in. They're more likely to book a session. Want to be proud of the person you see in the mirror? Tired of useless diets that don't work? Want to be the slim, sexy envy of all who know you? Then find out more about the proven weight management system used successfully by some of the world's top celebrities. Call now and website. Call to action, direct response marketing, ramped up the pain. I guarantee lots of your target market, people with disposable income, or the people who are prepared to get it together, either fall into the category that they want to do what top celebrities are doing, so that wording will appeal to them, or they'll go, yes, I do want to be the slim, sexy envy of people who know me because then I feel better than I do now. Yes, I am tired of useless diet. This will hit stuff. They'll be going, yes, 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 yes. The yes set kicks in. They see you've recognised their pain. They see you as being the solution, the person who understands them, who can help them. Call to action. Do it now. Scaredy cat. Cartoon cat. Scared. Does your fear or phobia hold you back in life? Do you get scared of things that others just laugh at? Wish you could truly feel free and fully in control at all times? Then contact us today about the fast phobia cure. Now, just as an aside, the so-called NLP fast phobia cure is taught inside the Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp. And if you want to, when you do the television set part of Complete Mind Therapy, you can use the television set screen for doing the fast phobia cure on. But I'll tell you something, there's no need to. All the phobias I've dealt with in the past, other than at live training events where I've had to teach people the fast phobia cure, when I'm treating real clients one-to-one, all I do is my Complete Mind Therapy session exactly as per the script you've got. Just to make that clear, because I didn't want people thinking, oh, he hasn't taught us that. It's ramping up the pain and the emotions. Red colour. Fed up with pain? Ouch! Does your long-term health problem or disability cause you pain? Fed up with the side effects of drugs? Wish you could live a happier, stress and pain-free life? Then find out more about natural drug-free pain relief. Now at the bottom, because this is going to sound like I'm contradicting something I said earlier about be a specialist, not a jack of all trades, but I'm going to contradict it on purpose. You'll see why. It says, warning, our expert consultants can also help you overcome confidence issues and many other of life's problems. Remember that every day you don't contact us is another day of your life wasted. Call now for more information and website. Now, that particular website, this one might have, I think actually this is one of Stuart's, so it will have its details on. But my ones, they've got a number on a website, but that website doesn't actually have any names on it, just says that we'll get you an expert consultant. And the reason is because this is a shotgun marketing campaign. in that there isn't just one niche. We're going for smoking, weight, fears, phobias, pain, and then confidence and stuff. But in a way where it almost looks like, although they picked up one leaflet, it could be like they picked up 4 or 5 different, because they're in different areas, different colour schemes, the psychology. The one that resonates to them is the one that they will attach to. That's the clever part about it. It is true to say that more targeted niche approaches, such as Stuart will talk about briefly, will in the long term bring you more financial income in the long term consistently. But in terms of bringing a nice extra regular income and a more rapid response one, it can be useful to get these leaflets done. And when you do, this is real high quality. These are like nightclub flyers. I mean, you can see, I hold that at the corner. It's not like the cheap shit you get through the door. Hold it at the corner properly. You can hear the quality of that leaflet. If you could feel it, you'd go, wow, that's expensive to print. But as you'll see, if you look on hypnotic-consultants.co.uk, for 5,000 of these and the licence to have your name, number and website stuck on, they work out cheaper than you could possibly imagine. I'll let you tell you in a minute. It's ridiculous. And then you get perhaps a company to deliver these door to door in the affluent areas. Now, affluent areas, I mean like the Jambutti areas. We call it the Jambutti area, Norden, which is just kind of, well, it's pretty much where I live. I say pretty much because I'm not that daft to pay an extra 50 to 100 grand for the same house just because it's 2 more streets into the posh area. But I will pay enough to be out of the shithole area, if that makes sense. So recall the slightly dearer houses that are the same as here, the Jambutti area, because they're so mortgaged up to the hilt there, the majority of them, they've nobody left for food, so they have to eat Jambuttis. Now, ironically, that's a good target area because these are the fuckwits that are spending an absolute fortune, even if they don't have it, on cars for the wives, that they're going to nail bars all the time, they're going getting their hair done, they're going to the tanning salon, they're going doing the ladies at lunch bit, and all this kind of thing. At the other extreme, the next most profitable, believe it or not, is probably your council estates. And you know why? Because those council estates, when they want it, they'll get the money together for the PlayStation or the fucking 200 quid Nike trainers and whatnot. And if the women will spend a fortune on diet stuff, women do. Women are your biggest, I'm sorry, I don't want to sound sexist, but generally speaking, women are the biggest money spenders on diet stuff. Don't get me wrong, you do also get a lot of gay men, and you do get straight men as well. But women, by far, top of the tree in terms of target market. You've got to understand your audience and put your marketing there accordingly. Which is why, yes, you could have them delivered to the houses, and you would get a certain percentage rate, and to be truthful, leaflets going through doors are crap. Even if you wrote something in dog shit on toilet roll and put it through enough letterboxes saying, you know, stop smoking or lose weight, call this number. If you got that through 5,000 letterboxes, other than stinking out 5,000 houses and probably getting arrested for putting dog shit through letterboxes, in terms of the message that you were putting across, marketing-wise, 10%'s 500, 1%'s 50, 0.5%'s 25, 1/4%'s 12, 1/8% is 6, 1/16% is 3. Even written in dog shit, I'd expect you to get at least 3 clients out of that. You could pull up 250 quid off each of, which would be 750 quid, which would more than cover the cost of the 5,000 leaflets being printed, which is a better idea than spending time writing them in dog shit. And trust me, these leaflets get a better response rate than that. You should be getting more like an average direct response mail thing. You're talking with something even shit. Normally you get between 1 to 2%, which on 5,000 of them is, do the maths yourself, 1% is 50. Yeah? So even if you only got 0.5% response, 25 people, if you only got 1/4%, you've got 12.5, so call it 12 people. If you're charging 250 quid a time, that's £3,000. If the leaflet printing and delivery, even if you outsourced it and paid a company to do it, cost you 500 quid, you've just made 2.5 grand profit. I don't know about you, but if every time I can hand out 500 quid, it gets me my money back to get more advertising done, and I make 2.5 grand profit, yeah, that's a good starting point for a return on investment. Not as good as spending next to no money, I admit, which is what Stuart's going to talk about briefly. Spending out a little bit of money every month or couple of months. By the end of the year, you've spent out a few £100 at most, but what you end up with is way out of proportion, which will make more sense in a minute. My message to you, Lou, is, yeah, you can go and get a licence for this, you have your details bottom. Well, this is a shotgun approach, but you know how this pays? That pushes out of the window the fact and makes it so that you don't come across as a jack of all trades, even though it's got smoking, weight, pain, fears and confidence stuff on. It's partly because of the design, partly because of the way they'll latch onto that and mentally blank out the rest, and partly because you are not going to give this to the person. If you're intelligent, rather than it just being delivered through your door, this will be given to your future client by somebody they already have rapport with and a level of trust. E.g., their hairdresser, or their beautician, or their nail therapist, or their masseuse. Because you are going to go and find those businesses in your areas, or the areas you're prepared to travel to, or realistically people will travel from, and you're going to give them, maybe to start with, 20 of these leaflets. And what you're going to do, in front of them, where the yellow bit is, you're going to write a random code on of letters. There's maybe the person's initials and the first 2 digits of their telephone number. So it identifies this leaflet as having come from them. And you go in and you say, I'm a hypnotist, blah, 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 help people. You show them the leaflet and you say, I was just wondering if you wouldn't mind if I was to leave some leaflets here, potentially for your customers. And here's the thing, before you say no, just let me tell you, any of your customers that ultimately end up booking a session with me, let's say you charge 250 quid, I'm going to give you 20% commission, so there's £50 cold hard cash for you. All they need to do is mention your name or bring this leaflet, and I guarantee that I will bring you cash at the end of each month for however many clients you sent my way, and you'll know that I can't rip you off because your clients come back here. And if the first person you refer to me comes back, and they will, and they'll tell you about how they no longer smoke or they no longer have that fear, and they'll be thanking you for having referred them to me. So you'll know they've been. So I can't possibly diddle you. And if I did, that would mean you never refer anyone else to me. That's really ridiculous. And more often than not, they'll take them. And you do genuinely, if you get a leaflet come to you or they mention, you genuinely do, in that example, give them £50 cold hard cash. But the fact is you're only paying out that £50 cold hard cash after you've been given £250 cold hard cash. And you're left with £200 of that for yourself, for the cost of pennies for leaflets. They become your only paid on results salespeople who are talking directly to the people who already spend money on suntans, nails, regular makeup, hair, preening, reflexology and all the other kind of shit. The gymnasiums where they go to look good. I don't mean the ones for the normal mere mortals like us. I mean the ones where they go to look beautiful and all that shit. They're your target customer who already will spend money on themselves. Well, at least they are for the leafleting market. There's another market via the internet that I will finish up this weekend with, as it were, to give you some free ideas to start getting clients for online group sessions or online one-to-one sessions or even face-to-face when we get back to normal sessions or for selling products. But I'll leave that to finish off with. What I'm going to do now is go over here briefly. So I will go off this camera in a minute because in a minute you're going to get highlighted in the middle Stuart Cassell's. I'm just going to first hopefully move the camera enough, namely the one that's there, the office one, and zoom it in. Oh, no. No. There we go. Zoom it in a bit. So that when I go and find Mr. Cassell's to tell you about... So I'll just go to the top here. Never done this before. Please tell me this works. Where's he gone? Stuart. Are you here, Stuart?
It should be.
Okay, you're definitely here. I found you. So if I go there, if I click Spotlight, you should magically appear and be ready to please welcome Mr. Stuart Harrison Cassell's.
Thank you very much. Right, let's start off with, I'm quite conscious that we're running quite tight on time today.
You're okay, you've certainly got 15 minutes.
Right, because I was making notes earlier today about what I wanted to cover, and I realised that I've probably got 2 hours worth of material to fit into 15 minutes. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is, with your permission, Alex, I'm going to throw in a curveball here. On Tuesday, I'm going to run an absolutely free, no sales pitch whatsoever, masterclass, Zoom lesson, group chat, whatever you want to call it, on basically the software you need to use as a hypnotherapist, the way to get things done for free and easily. I'm going to teach you my £10 phobia trick, the $1,000 video creation system that I learned off a wonderful internet marketer. I'm not going to mention his name here because why advertise him? And I'm also going to teach you how to get onto page 1 of Google for free. Now, I'm only going to do this if I've got at least 10 people in the room on Tuesday night. That's going to be possibly 8, 9 o'clock at night, UK time.
I would say 9 o'clock PM.
9 o'clock, okay, great. I'm going to put a post up in the group after this meeting. And, we've already got some people going, yes, we're there, brilliant. I'll put a post up in the group. And if you're interested, comment on there. So when I leave the link for you with the password and everything else, you know where to find it. We'll do that Tuesday at 9 o'clock, okay? Stacks of information. It's probably going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of throwing ideas at you. You're going to need a pen and paper, definitely, for that. So,
can I record that?
You can record it, but I don't know whether or not we'll put it in the group. Put it in the BOOTCAMP. I'd like a copy of the recording, please.
Yeah, of course.
Clients.
That goes without saying. Yeah.
But basically, if people can't be, if they can't make time.
So I'll put a Zoom link. I'll get a Zoom link together. You put a post by all means, but I'll get a Zoom link together.
Brilliant.
Before lunchtime tomorrow. In fact, it'll be before midnight tonight. I'll post it in the group before I go and open. I've got a big, nice bottle of champagne. I will put a photo up later after the seminar. But I'm going and having a rather large, nice bottle of champagne to celebrate the end of a 4-day training event. And
lucky you! I've just finished my last cider, and I won't be getting any more until the shop's open tomorrow.
I think you've at least 10, but there's more than 10 people said yes, they'll come on it, mate. So it's going to happen.
Fantastic, right? Okay, lots to share with you. That'll be Tuesday, 9 o'clock UK time. We'll work out what the time is.
Can you just try and give them a condensed version of the websites then? Because earlier today they may have noticed that I put in the group a link to a massive 85% discount off the website kit, and they might be wondering why that appeared there.
Okay, the website kit. Some of you will have already seen the contents of the website kit. There are 10 different websites. They're all based on a wonderful CMS called WordPress. For those of you who don't know, WordPress own the majority share of what's known as CMS, content management system, on the internet. At least 20% of all websites in the world are built on WordPress. I've been using it for probably about the past 6-7 years. I started my very first Hypnosis Hypnotherapy site was built in pure HTML. It still exists. I haven't updated it. It's there. It's special. It's a little bit.
But specially means special.
Sorry?
But specially means special.
Yeah, it is. It's bloody awful.
I don't like it, but it still converts, so why bother changing it? What's Braddock? Don't like the leaflets either, but they work, they convert. This is, you know, show that to a graphic designer, they'll tell you it's bloody awful, it won't work. It does. That's another story. I'll cover that on Tuesday.
Yeah, cool.
So, the websites. You've got 10 sites. You've got a theme for stop smoking, depression and anxiety. One that can be used for specialist phobias of dentists because it's blue and white and looks a little bit medical. You've got one for hypnobirthing. I know some of you don't want to do hypnobirthing. I'll tell you what to do with that shortly. In total, there are 10 websites, layouts, themes in there. Each one of those has the ability to be uploaded to a host. We give you the hosting. There's a company called D9 who I recommend. Now, if you go to elitehypnosiswebsites.co.uk, again, I'll put the link in the group, and you click on the little tab that says hosting and scroll down, you will find my recommended company called D9. They currently host no less than 30 of my own websites. And they are absolutely brilliant with their technical support, their customer service. They are the best website company I have ever used for hosting. Absolutely spot on, no problems at all with them. The link that you're going to find has a 40% discount with it for first-time users. The first time you spend money with them, you will save 40%. So here's the plan. You're going to need hosting. If you haven't already got it, you're going to need hosting for your websites. So you go along to elitehypnosiswebsites.co.uk/hosting, and you click on the link and you enter the term save 40 when you buy your hosting. Now you're going to buy hosting for the Max program, MAX, and that allows you to host multiple sites. It costs you around about £100 a year, $100 thereabouts, give or take. Now obviously when you save 40%, you can save up to £40, $40 a year. You can book for multiple years in advance. You can get 5 years of hosting if you really want to.
Oh, can I just put in with one point? Yes, yeah. Other web hosting services are available, but I've got to tell you this, people. And this applies even if you've got a web hosting now. If you're going to start selling products online massively, there is only one web hosting company in the world that genuinely will contact you first and go, we've had a complaint about your website or your product. Do you need to do something about it, or can you give us the evidence that it's bullshit? And they'll leave your website online while that process is taking place. All the other web companies shit themselves, and the reason for that is, I'll tell you now, every millionaire internet marketer on the planet of note uses D9 hosting because they won't just rip your site down off the internet.
That's true, and basically they will happily host multiple sites. As I say, for my £100 a year, I host over 30 of my own sites, plus some select clients. Let's say I host about 40 sites a year for £100. Work that out, that's what, £2.50 a website per year to host? That's ridiculously cheap. Now you haven't got that many websites to host yet. You may not have one, you may have one so far. If you've got one, keep it going if it's working. What you're going to do is you're going to set up a second site. It's going to be a catch-all. It's going to advertise that you do the 4 main things that hypnotherapists can make their money on. It's going to do phobias, it's going to do pain, it's going to do weight loss, and of course it's going to do stop smoking. It's the 4 main things on the leaflet. Okay? That's all it's going to advertise. You're not going to have a list of 80 different conditions that you can treat. And there are websites out there who do have an A to Z list of 80 different conditions on one page. Or, worse still, a menu with 80 different conditions to go through. Or, a menu that has several different ways of treating. don't give the client an option on how to treat a condition. Don't give them the option of, you can book me for CMT or havening or such and such or something. It's not up to the client to choose what you should be using. You are the expert, you are the perceived expert, you are the expert. But why would you wouldn't go to the doctors and say, I'm suffering with cancer, and the doctor then lists out 20 different options of treatment and you choose which you think is the best. But there are hypnotherapists out there that do that. That's another story. So you set up your site. You're going to set it up very carefully. You're going to choose your photos very carefully. If it's a photo of you, and I'm not going to be rude here, but if it's a photo of you and you're overweight, please do not offer weight loss systems. If you're going to offer stop smoking, don't have an ashtray in the back. Some of you might be laughing right now. It happens. I've seen it. Yeah. So don't do that. You're going to have a catch-all. You're going to have a local telephone number. To do that, before I go any further, just as a quick disclaimer, the link on the website for D9 hosting where you can save 40% on your first purchase or your first payment, it is an affiliate link. It's not going to cost you any extra. It doesn't cost you any extra at all to click on that link. You're not going to save any more by shopping around. It just means I get a little bit extra for recommending them. That's not why I recommend them. But it is an affiliate link. It's passive income for me. Right, so you're going to go to a site called virtuallylocal.co.uk in the UK. There are other sites in America, Australia, I believe, that do the same thing. And they give you a personal virtual landline number. Any of you that currently have a website that are advertising hypnotherapy and you've got a mobile number on that website, please get rid of it. Your website should be akin to your local GP surgery or your accountant, etc. It should not have a mobile number on. You don't ring your doctor up on a mobile. You don't ring your accountant up on a mobile phone number. The only people that should have mobile phone numbers, in my opinion, on a website are people that do mobile gardening, driveway laying, etc. Okay? Rant over. Yes, some of my websites used to have mobile numbers on. They don't anymore. The majority don't. I'm sure there's probably one or two out there that I haven't updated. So I haven't got round to it. Too busy building other people's websites. So you go to Virtually Local and you pay them £18 for a telephone number. That £18 is credit for incoming calls, and that runs down at the rate of about 3p per minute on a landline or 8p a minute to a mobile. I have several of their virtual numbers. I don't make a penny from them at all. I'll put the link in the group for you later. I've got all of them saved in my mobile phone, so that when the phone rings, I know exactly which website they're ringing from because I've got a different number on each one. So I've got a Rochdale number for one of my Rochdale sites. I have a Manchester number for my Manchester City Centre consultant site. I have one in West Yorkshire. I have a couple that I've used for events around the country that I keep going because it costs me nothing once I've got the number. Once the credit runs out, I just spend another £18. Virtually Local. Get yourself a Virtually Local number and put it on there. It means that you can wander around. If you want to go to the pub and meet up with myself and Alex once this is all over, you can sit there in the Flying Horse in Rochdale or one of the pubs we meet in Manchester with your office in your pocket. Okay? And what they'll do is they'll allow you to be able to run your business anywhere in the country with a mobile phone, okay? Without having a mobile phone on your website. Makes you look more professional. Once you've got your first site up, and we go through on the plan of how to word it, where to put your pictures, etc., you're going to give that a month. The second month, you're going to place up a second website, and you're going to word it differently. You're going to use different photos. you're going to use third person instead of first person terminology. So instead of saying that I can help you, you're going to use things like we can help you or Stuart can help you. Okay? Your wording is not going to be egocentric though. So don't be using words such as, don't start every sentence with, I can do this, I can do that, I know how to help you. Think about what the client needs. Choose your domains carefully. That's the biggest, it's the biggest cock up of most hypnotherapists, is that hypnotherapists will go with a domain name that has their name in it. Why? Why would you have Stuart Castle's hypnotherapy when you can have a domain name that either mentions the time that you're targeting or the condition that you can help treat or something that is aimed at the client? Okay? Plus, it's easier to remember how to spell Manchester than it is my surname, which has 3 different virtual spellings. So, choose a domain name that is client-centric and not egocentric. Okay. Once you've done that, it's time to start looking at niching. I know the Americans pronounce it differently, but it's niching over here. Niching, is it? I believe you